What's up, YouTube? So I'm up here on Cuesta Linda right now, which is just off of like Palisades Drive, and they're building this beautiful house up here, right? Beautiful. And when I came up here, I realized and noticed that this is that reservoir that everyone was talking about, and why it was still empty. You can see there's a bunch of firemen, there's helicopters out there. But this is that major reservoir that wasn't filled, which could have potentially saved a lot of time and a lot of houses. And when you look at these mountains in the background, how vast they are, you know, just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Luckily, a lot of these areas were spared, but still, it's been 7 months and that reservoir is still empty. Unbelievable. I wonder why that is. Does anyone know why that is? If you know, put it in the comment section below. All right, so I just showed you guys that reservoir that was empty. It's just over there on to the left, but I wanted to show you guys this little section of houses that got burned up. I was just up there over that hill delivering a bunch of stuff to a job site up there. Oh, they're building this beautiful home up there. But look at this. Look at those hills. Things are starting to get real dry up there. And right over that hill is that reservoir that I just showed you guys a couple of seconds ago. Look at these trees, they're still all torched up. So this is, let's see. So this main street right here is Palisades Drive. And this is, it says El Bosque Court. And this address is, let's see, 1402 El Bosque Court. All right. Got an empty lot right here. And then a beautiful home right here. I love this home. This is man, if I could have a house like that, man. And obviously, you know, it was built extremely well. And the materials that were used were really high quality. Not susceptible to fire. And then you've got, oh, this guy's coming down the hill. They must be doing a big job over there. This is 1413 El Bosque Court. Private property, no trespassing. These guys put a fence up right here. Okay, so they haven't done anything. These guys are still doing wildfire debris removal. And this lot right here is for sale. Let's see if I can find that little placard. Okay, so this is 1429 El Bosque. $14.33 El Bosque. Oh, look at that dude ripping. Ripping down the hill with a little excavator. All of these trees were probably torched. Some of them have been, you know, looks like some of them have recovered. Not all of them, though. They're doing something major up there, though. I've never been over there. They've got that dirt road where that little excavator is. Spreading gravel. It's hard to back a truck up that hill. I'm gonna try to go across the street. I've never been in this area. This is the first time I've been over here. It's a miracle that this house was spared. Oh, I got probably a homeowner or something coming up. Or maybe he's a construction worker up there in that hill. What's up, brother? Yeah, he's a construction worker. RTS, I've seen them before. I love this home right here, though. Man, it's beautiful. Okay. So no construction underway over here in this section. This is the major street right here, Palisades Drive. Let's see if I can get a better look at that reservoir. It's been 7 months and that freaking reservoir still isn't filled with water. That's unbelievable. I don't, that's so confusing to me. Why on earth is that thing not filled with water? Is it because it's broken or is it damaged? Like, what the hell? Here's another property that was burned up. It looks like there was multiple. So you got like one lot here. Oh, these must have been like really tiny homes. If you look, there's a placard there. Let me see. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's another placard. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Must have been like 5 or 6 different little homes right here on this cliff overlooking the Palisades Drive canyon area. You can see off in the distance the mountains in the background. I'm not sure if those hills were on fire. I mean, they probably were. And, you know, at some point in time, they're probably going to go up in flames again. It's really just a matter of time. The vegetation after a rain does really well. It just explodes with growth. And then summertime comes around and we get like a little mini drought and everything just dries up and becomes like a little tinderbox. Okay, so looks like I can go over here. These were all little homes, it looks like, all alongside this. Okay, so I can see the reservoir from here. Let's see if I can hop up on a fence and give you guys a better look. So this is the address, 1904 Palisades Drive. Never been over here before. Hopefully I can get a good view of the reservoir. Oh, it looks like I will. I'm gonna hop up on this little wall. See if I can get a good view. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna hop this fence real quick and stand up there. Okay, so sorry about that. Hopefully there's no one coming over here checking me out. Oh, look. You can still see some remnants. Off in the distance over there is the ocean. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll try to zoom in. See a little bit. Shame all of these houses got completely torched. And there's that reservoir. Look at that. Why on earth is that reservoir not filled with water? And you've got a bunch of ambulances over there. You've got a bunch of firemen over there by the helicopter on the left. Let's see if I can get a different angle. You might be able to see them. I don't know what it is they're doing. Maybe they're preparing for fire season, but I mean, Jesus. Look at them all. There's fire trucks over there, ambulance. helicopters, but no water in the reservoir. Makes absolutely zero sense. If any of you guys know why that reservoir still hasn't been filled 7 months post-fire, please put it in the comment section below. That is absolutely, I would think, unacceptable. What if there's a fire that breaks out in these hills right here? You know how hard that's going to be to contain? Especially if there's winds. Look at all these hills. People say, oh, the winds weren't 100 miles an hour, Cameron, you're exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. I swear to God, they were that fast. I mean, it was unbelievable. Maybe certain areas weren't that fast, but the higher up you went and the less resistance there was, the winds were howling. These hills and all these trees on the hills were just swaying, and everything was dry. Shame, look at that. 7 months post-fire, and that reservoir still hasn't been filled. Unbelievable. Somebody, please, write in the comment section, come up with some ridiculous argument explaining why that reservoir hasn't been filled yet. Please, I'd love to hear that one. Ugh. That is so stupid. I don't know if these were like little townhomes or something. See, this is the problem right here. Like, these residents, if they even do choose to rebuild, which, I mean, clearly there's nothing being done. It's going to be like this. These lots are going to be like this for another year. Easy. There's nothing getting done. You know, it's like the handful of people who are getting their homes rebuilt, they probably had the highest quality insurance that money could buy. Okay, yeah, so this was, I don't know if this house right here is like an example of what was. He had a little tennis court, he had a little pool, a little spa. But look at these hills. And look, it looks like this hill is gonna give out. Look at how vast this canyon is. This is gonna be the problem for, if these people do choose to rebuild. I know I like go off topic and stuff, but if these people do choose to rebuild, like, no insurance company is going to want to insure these properties. Like, they're literally on a hill and the hill's giving way, and every year these communities are at threat or at risk of wildfire because of where they're located geographically. Like, they're literally in a hill that's in a canyon that's covered with just dense and dry foliage and debris. No insurance company wants to deal with this. None. It's too risky. I can still smell the char from the fire, like the ash. You can't see it, but there's some wind, a gust coming through, and it's starting to pick up. That's exactly how these fires just become out of control. The winds, they come in from the ocean sometimes, or wherever, or the Santa Anas, and they just start howling through these canyons. This is 1900 Palisades Drive, Recreation Center. Some of those homes up there got spared. That's a big old house up there. Anyways, just wanted to share with you guys that today. I've never been up in this area. Oh wow, you can see that there's a couple of houses down there. in the crevice of this canyon. So you can imagine if there was a lot of debris and all of this, see these rocks right here on the, if all of that came loose, if it rained really bad right after the fire, it rained, but it didn't rain really bad. I think it was like 2017, there was a fire up in Santa Barbara. They called it I think it was the Thomas fire or Thompson fire. I remember that one distinctively. It was so bad. The fire just went from basically Ventura all the way up to like Goleta, which is like another hour north. All along the hills burned, and there was a bunch of little, there was a community called Montecito, which is, I think it's just south of Santa Barbara, or it's either just south or just north, I can't remember. But a lot of the homes were inside these little canyon areas, and the fire came, and you know, if luckily if your house was spared from the fire, a week or two later, it rained like torrential downpours, and all of the soot and ash that was, you know, from the fire just came ripping down these canyons. And there was like, perfect example is like a house like that in between the crevices, and these big boulders would come rolling down and just boom, I've literally just washed away homes, you know. Well, they got lucky, but you know, it's not just wildfires, it's flooding, you know, it's literally mudslides post-fire. You know, just because your house made it through the fire doesn't mean that it's not going to make it through the mudslide, especially when you're down in the middle of a crevice of a canyon. Terrible. But whatever, it is what it is, and you can do at this point. But I just wanted to share with you guys that it's been, you know, 7 months post-fire, and that damn reservoir is still not filled with water. It's unbelievable. So, and it looks like none of these homes are going to be built anytime soon. I don't know what they were. Maybe they were condos or townhomes, or I don't know what they were. But there's definitely no construction underway over here in this area. They're still doing cleanup, you know, and that little dirt road over there on the right-hand side, they're still doing cleanup. And they're going to be doing cleanup for a long time. So anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys that today. And thanks again to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing. And also, sometimes it's really hard for me to come up with new ideas for content. If you guys got any ideas, like put it in the comment section below. Or if you've got a specific area that you want me to check out, list it in the comment section. Help me get some ideas, and so I can provide you guys with more content going forward. So anyways, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.